During this period, you had a corporate job, like while you were building yourself physically. I mean, you had a corporate job, correct?
I wore a suit and tie every day.
Every day.
Every day. And I haven't worn a suit and tie since I left the 25th of February 2019.
And what made the switch then?
For me, the switch, I give a lot.
What was the job?
The job, I was a branch manager of a real estate agent.
Okay.
I had a good position. I was working a lot. I was working 8 till 6 a.m. Sorry, 6 p.m. every day, 6 days a week, like grinding. But I was also training. I was actually competing back then in 2018, getting in great shape. And I also started my online coaching business at the same time.
Okay.
So people say they don't have time. I fucking did it. Like
sure.
I made time. I worked a proper job, was competing at the same time, also making content,
business.
and had sub a business. And this is the reality we spoke about on my podcast earlier, is in terms of like, if something's important to you, you'll make it happen. At the beginning, you just got to grind.
True.
And you'll look back a few years later thinking like, those were the good old days. And I remember I set up my business. I used to work in a shed in the end of my garden with my little laptop. In the winter, there was no heating. So like I'd be in there at 5 a.m. with a woolly hat on, like a coat. in the summer, it was too hot. So like all the doors would be open because there's like flat black roof on the top of it.
True.
And this is where I look back with fond memories of those times. And that's why I say to anyone who's listening to this, if you're not in the position you want to be, you can then change your entire world. And what you'll find when you start to try and change is that people are asked like, why are you doing this? Why are you posting photos of yourself on the internet? Like, why are you making all this content? And then 5 years later, like my dad would ask me like, how have you done this?
Your dad?
My dad asked me that.
The same. I love similarity. What made you change being in a corporate job to becoming a personal trainer?
I wanted time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom. And for me to do that, I saw the opportunity of social media. And my life changed in the moment. I remember that driving around in a place called Esher in Surrey in my Mercedes car. It was like a beautiful spring day. And a podcast came on from Gary Vee that I listened to in terms of like making content, jab, right hook. And then I listened to a sales podcast from Grant Cardone. And I was like, this is the thing. This is traffic. This is how I sell them. And then I just started to figure it out from there. And I was one of the really early adopters to do this. And if I knew what I knew now, it'd be really easy. But the reality is I made a lot of big mistakes along the way, and it all worked out. And that's why I say to anyone who's listening to this, if you can find someone who's walked the path you want to walk, you can avoid all the pain and like mishaps that happen along the way and avoid hitting the proverbial iceberg.